Arcane Season 2, Episode 3, title finally got my name right. Now, this episode, of course, is the end of Act 1, and I will say this out of the first three episodes, I will say this is the weakest for me. This is the weakest episode because what we have here is something that I found be. It all comes down to what I find the most engaging thing with the show, really. Anything dealing with Jinx and Violet and the and the supporting characters that affect them, that affect those two characters, I'm engaged. I'm hooked. I'm glued to the screen. I want to know what's happening with those two characters, and if there's any supporting characters, it's their actions that affect them too, right? Anything dealing with the world and the science and like the political aspect of things, I couldn't like not say it's bad. It's just I find it the least interesting, the most engaging thing in the world because political wise, it's again it's about the world, right? It's all about the world building. You know, we keep on world building, but for me, I find the characters. You know, you don't relate with the world, you relate with the characters, and I found that I'm more engaged with I mean characters and antagonists than just say, hey, the world and the politically and the science. Like, look, the weird light bulb thing, and so you can have a neat action sequence between Caitlyn and Magpie, and have Jinx and Violet or V. It's it was engaging. It was. I mean, the fight was really good, and having this like electricity, like saying like, "Oh, the technology's not working, our weapons are not working," have a sense of you don't know where things are gonna go. Maybe both characters don't live. I assume like at least V was gonna live, but maybe Kagan doesn't live. Maybe this doesn't happen. Maybe this happens. What if that happens? And it basically it does have a level of creativity. I mean, even stuff with exploring the origins of the grey, which is the green gas, and the animation, of course, is wonderful. We're using like comic book art to explain comic book panels to explain the origins of the green smoke, which is quite. I was like, once again, they're using creative ways to explore their type of storytelling, and it's just using the animated medium that could not be done in live action. One so it. But as I said about the whole character thing, about me only caring about basically like shit between V and Jinx, Caitlyn at this point is I would say interesting, but a intriguing character because clearly what it is, she is so linked with anger and guilt and all those things, so that she's so linked to it that it's blinded her. Like she was about to shoot a kid or possibility shooting a kid, and clearly this kid sees Jinx as a figure, like a father, as a mother figure. Clearly, this child is an orphan, learning how to survive and all that kind of stuff, and sees Jinx as someone that who could take care of her, and sees her as like a mother figure. And of course, clearly, Jinx is like, "Well, you don't care what's happening. What is that?" And it's not clicking with her what's happening, and it's like you're her Cisco. That's what's happening. Cisco was your parent figure pretty much out of no choice. And now this is the same thing happening, and it'll be interesting adding an extra element. It does add an extra layer because for you know last episode, Jinx is lost. She doesn't know what she is emotionally. She doesn't know what is she. There's no one in the world that cares about her. And then this child comes along and saying, "Hey, I care for you," and she doesn't know what to do with that information, but she finds herself really not probably not attached, but it's like thank you kid for saving my life. So probably a sense of being a guy, and is probably the way to respond with it. So that is quite. I was like, hey, this relationship between this child Jinx is also probably going to be a interesting concept and an interesting element towards the character of Jinx. Um, I mean, with Caitlyn also at the end, like her basically becoming the new ruler, her being like, I am the boss now. Um, that is, of course, going to set up the world. That is setting up the effects of our characters versus seeing paint getting fly into the air. I mean, at the end of the day, when you find out, oh, it's just paint, it's not. Okay, people are just gonna be taking longer showers just to get all the paint off of them. I'm like, okay, that's you know, yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful spectacle. I like the idea you have this like 3D environment, but all the smoke and all the gas and all the paint are like 2D images. I like that. But yeah, I mean, I just couldn't care about the tree and Echo and that I didn't find that interesting or engaging. Even though it looked visually well done, it just like it wasn't dealing with the core characters and the core aspect of it for me. Um, but yeah, I mean, it seems like fun to coming soon. Like yeah, coming next week. This is what Act Two looks like. It sounds like we're getting another time jump. Now we're at the point where because V is walking some black hair right now versus the yellow versus white hair. So clearly we're gonna have something quite different going on there. And see how Caitlyn's rule is affecting the city, but also not just affecting the city, but affecting our characters, and that's hopefully they focus on that in Act Two, and of course Act Three. Act Three is going to probably be just one big effing fucking showdown. Let's be honest, um, but being the final season and then wrapping up the story. So yeah, comment below, wait for Act One and episode 3. Comment below, let me know your thoughts.